going to talk about 10 exciting things that are coming to WWE 2K24. The first one I have on my list has to do with special guest referee. It's been very long time since we've had a special guest referee match in the 2K games. We're going to be able to do things like the normal fast counts, slow counts. We're going to be able to break the ropes if we want to, doing the quick counts to the outside to 10, allow DQs, more shenanigans, having it online, and it's going to be available in like universe mode. It's something that I was worried about when I started to hear rumblings that this was going to come out in the 2K game, that it wasn't going to be available in any other mode. That's one of the big things that excites me, and I think for other players too, is having it available in universe mode. It feels like more often than not, something new gets added in and it's almost like, sorry, but we couldn't put it in this thing. And the other thing they're doing with special guest referee is when you select the referee, they're gonna be outfitted already with a special guest ref attire. And there's more customization options in there too, like creating a special guest referee. But even more benefits to referees is going to come in with my second thing that I'm excited about, which is going to be the authentic WWE referees. We're getting the ones that are actually on TV. I think there's going to be 7 of them that are scanned and going to be put in the game as options for you to pick. Hopefully they work as default in like universe mode and my GM, particularly universe mode, being able to select it, and hopefully it works. But I think that's great. I think that's an exciting new add-on. It's a small detail, but that's what I like. I like having those small details so that it looks exactly like what I watch on TV. And I can finally get away from the generic referees I've seen for so many years. And number 3 on the list is one that a lot of us have been asking for a very long time, and it's Backstage Brawl. The one-on-one Backstage Brawl environments we've had for so many years has been boring, and especially in 22 and 23, I barely touched it. For 2K23, I barely ever went and did Backstage Brawls because I didn't find it very fun or exciting or anything really I wanted to do. Because the environments themselves I felt dull and hollow, and also it was only 1v1. The good news is that with 2K24, they're implementing up to 4-player Backstage Brawl. This is going to freshen things up completely and give us way more options when it comes to customizing our universe, because it's going to be available in there to be able to have all these different types of matches happening backstage. New and updated backstage environments too are key, because we know that we're going to get new weapons, this soda machine and throwing weapons around. It's going to make things a lot more fun when it comes to backstage, and I'm actually willing to try it out. There's also the word that there's going to be elevator in there, working elevator, so presumably we're going to be able to go to different levels within the backstage and see what it's all about. I think there's even been screenshots online too with the WrestleMania 13 arena, and it looked like for the entranceway you could see almost backstage. So I wonder if they have almost a seamless transition for you to go backstage in like a Extreme Rules match and go from the ring and go backstage and being able to cross over. That would be really cool. I'm not sure if we're there yet, but Backstage Brawl actually has me excited for once. And the next one is, well, it's number 4 on the list. It's got me hopeful. I'm excited. I'm hopeful. It could be burned real bad here. My faction. I am optimistic with my faction this year. I'm still holding out. I'm not there yet. I'm not all the way there. That's what she said.
That's what he said, right, guys?
I am feeling okay about my faction from what we have read and the teases and hints from the devs. It's coming out with, number 1, they're having the marketplace in there set up where you can buy individual cards. So not just buying the packs like we do. Now I could go in there and buy one of the cards I like. If I want to get a Becky Lynch the Man version, I can do that. I want to see what that's all about, because marketplace has been one criticism I've had of the mode, amongst others. But not having that, where I just have to go in and just randomly buy packs and you might get one card of value, and it doesn't really mean much. If I can save up enough of the currency, I could then go in and buy any card I want, or I could dump real money into it and get what I really want. But that also goes hand in hand with what was teased, and that fans are expected or might be excited by the prospect of having the models unlocked and playable in different modes in the game. Lionel Jinx, one of the developers, teased this, hinted at it, and it sounds like it might come true, but I'm a little hesitant with the rollout for it because I don't know how it's going to finalize and look for players. Is it going to cost way too much to get Asuka to get a different version, a retro version of Shawn Michaels, a retro version of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the special guest referee shirt. Is it going to cost too much to get a retro version of The Rock? We don't know yet. And will I end up having to just spend real money in doing that? Maybe. But maybe it's going to be my choice, and at least the option is there if I want to cherry pick who I want to download and unlock, and they're playable in every other mode. So I'm optimistic that we're going to see the changes. I still hold back a little bit until I can finally see it or hear more info, but at least it's on my list of being excited, because it might be a good positive change for people. All right, number 5 is My GM. I love My GM. I loved it in the old games, mostly. But we're getting some of those old features put back in the game, and that's got me pumped up a little bit. And I'm talking about trades and being able to manage the contracts better. My big complaint for My GM was, well, one of them being the lack of match types and the number of players we can have. It only got up to 4-way matches. We don't even have 6-ways. We don't have Elimination Chamber, Rumble. We don't have a full calendar in My GM. That could change this year, but at the very least, they're putting in one of those key features, which is trades. Being able to trade one big wrestler for maybe 2 or 3 smaller wrestlers, or the ones that are not as popular, and doing trades that way, and the implementations and bringing back contract management. Right now, you got 5 weeks or whatever with your wrestler. I can't change the contract. I don't find that fun at all. I want to be able to go in there and maybe a lesser wrestler, I'm going to build them up and I want to give them a full 1-year contract, or Roman Reigns, I want to give a 3-year contract. It's all going to have more control, and that's the stuff I like with My GM. That's the point of it, is to have all that nitty-gritty control over your show and building it the way you want. They're also bringing back, it seems like they're bringing back ECW, and making ECW one of the arenas and one of the options for your shows, giving us Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I would think WCW again this year, and the potential of ECW and more general managers they hinted at too. So GM mode might actually pop out this year and really surprise us with what it has to offer. And number 6 was going to be the roster. I'm actually pretty pumped with how this roster might shake out. We didn't have a lot of releases by WWE in the last 12 months, thank goodness. We got some, but there haven't been any like last minute releases where they got to shuffle the deck and change stuff for like DLC packs or anything like that. The roster's healthy. NXT is extremely healthy. It's kind of on the uprise right now in terms of popularity and fans enjoying NXT a little bit more. They need to get out of that venue real quick. But NXT is quite popular. They did a lot of NXT for DLC last year. Hopefully it's a better balance with Legends. They have got more Legends under contracts with WWE. So I'm excited if we get to see things like the Dudley Boys making a return, the Headbangers, Ken Shamrock, Jushin Thunder Liger might come in. Like, there's a lot of different legends that could be added into this game, especially with 40 years of WrestleMania being put in there. And the current active rosters across Raw and SmackDown, once again, very healthy, and not a lot of gimmick changes. That's usually the problem with these games, right? You get the game, and then somebody's out of date because they grew a beard the day before. Like, it always happens. It is what it is, but at least like the Raw and SmackDown sets are the same, and the Raw and SmackDown rosters virtually the same. And we could see really healthy DLC once again from NXT, Legends, maybe Jade Cargill, maybe Trinity shows up, we get Naomi back, and maybe even CM Punk is going to be a DLC edition. And number 7, it's a small one, but it's exciting for dopes like me, and that is going to be toggling the camera angle. We're going to be able to change the camera, presumably in every match that we want. The devs have highlighted the Royal Rumble and Gauntlet matches where we can change the camera angle to the ramp, so we get the old school camera that we've always wanted. Camera changes is so good for me. It's dynamic, it changes the presentation. I can see the actual arena, the venue, I can see the stage. Maybe it's one that I designed and it's terrible and I want to look at it, or it's community creation downloads and I want to see the stage. It makes it for a way more authentic experience. What if WWE changes the presentation? Now we can rotate the cameras, now we can change it up, and it's going to be a toggle feature on and off. So I'm super excited about this. Finally, for Royal Rumble entrants, they come in, we can see it. That's one thing I was clamoring for Rumble matches, was being able to see who the heck is coming down next. It adds to it. You get to finally see them running down the ramp, and same thing with gauntlet matches. It's gonna be good, and I think it's a welcomed addition that was needed for years. Number 8 is going to be the updated gameplay moves. The devs have talked about this, where we're gonna get a couple of different things built into the core gameplay as we're in the ring. One of them being multi-person dives. This was hinted at last year by the devs, that it's something they're working on. I'm kind of surprised they were able to get this out, and we are gonna see this year. How does it look? Don't know yet. Probably going to be some kind of OMG finisher thing that they're going to pull off in a multi-person match. You get all your people on the outside, and you could do a moonsault or a springboard or something like that. But that has me very pumped up to try that out. You get very silly online too. The other one is going to be the yay boo mini game that they have, where we're going to trade blows back and forth. I'm not sure how they're going to incorporate this, if it's going to be something that's going to be done by certain wrestlers in the match, or it's got to be a certain point in the match that you can pull it off, or it's going to be done as a payback. But having that in, again, it goes back to giving the authentic experience of what you see in the ring. It doesn't happen, yay and boo doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen, and you want to be able to trigger that in a big match. I got John Cena and The Undertaker going at it, and they're going to trade blows back and forth. They're all bloody and a mess. It's going to be great. Then I throw a soda can at Taker. And then the last one that they're adding in, it's brand new, is super finishers. So you got the Crossroads Trinity as an example that Brian Williams, one of the developers, gave, where you're going to store up 3 finishers, and then it's going to trigger and pop up, and you're going to be able to do a super finisher, and it's basically going to dummy the person, and you're going to win a match. How they'll pull it off and how it will flow within the game, within the match itself, that's what I'm curious to see. But I am excited to see how this thing will totally turn out. It's a nice addition, and it's adding to the gameplay. And number 9, kind of mentioned it earlier, but gauntlet match specifically. I know we're getting casket and ambulance matches, and those are exciting, but for me, gauntlet is a standout. And we're getting multi-match gauntlet. So we're going to be able to have, I think, multi-persons, like 3, 4, 5-person gauntlet match, and I'm going to run the gauntlet that way. That has me super excited because we haven't had a gauntlet match in a long time. I love elimination style matches, and this one really I've been missing to come back in the franchise. Number 10 on the list. What is your number 10? That's what I want to know. The final one on this list is yours. Comment below. What is the most exciting thing for you that you're pumped up about for 2K24? Let me know. If you guys enjoyed this video, click this one right here because we got way more 2K24 coverage for you. Have a great day. See ya.